What's good? What's good? I am back. Yours truly, one and only Paul Masson, live from Fayettenam Friday, as usual, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and the audio version will go to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, Slacker, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and much, much more. Hope everybody's doing good. Weather's a little hot. Supposed to be last week of summer, but that don't mean nothing for North Carolina. That don't mean that we're not still gonna get hot weather. So, we got a guest coming on in a few. We're gonna give him a little bit of time to come on. Told him we'd be live at 7, and we actually interviewed a group member of his recently, DJ Tuff. Definitely go check out that interview. Also, go check out the interview. Who did I interview last week? I want to say it was Culture Freedom. Yeah, Culture Freedom of Poor Righteous Teachers. Go check out that interview. And he has some new projects coming as well. And of course, we recently interviewed Lord Zen of the Visionaries, Bo Rock of the Dove Shack, and DJ Jam, who was the official tour DJ for Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. And we also interviewed Chiron, aka Solo, of Screwball. Go check that out as well. A big Screwball fan. Their album was dope. Beats were banging. Love the energy. See if he's ready. Give me 1 second. I do plan on doing music reviews tomorrow. I don't know what time yet. Also, I got an interview Monday with James Get Down Brown, bare knuckle fighter at the BKFC. That'll be on the Paul Picker podcast. Go follow me on there as well. Mr. Myrtle Beach. Oh, look, the picture popping up. Oh, we got the new I guess we got the new look on the I seen they made some changes on the comments recently, so I guess that's how they looking now. I don't know if I can change them. There's some kind of settings that I can go in and change the way the comments are. Give my guest a few more minutes. I don't got much to really talk about. It ain't too much hip hop news. I'm just really ready for the Mobb Deep album. I heard a song. Prodigy verse was dope as hell, as usual. Beat was cool, but could have been a little better, in my opinion. You know, we talking about doing a new Mobb Deep album. You need to make sure every song is a banger, in my opinion. Mobb Deep is known for dropping bangers. Okay, come on. What was that? They was cool. Who's they? They was cool. This guy. How'd you get your diploma, man? THAY was cool. Look at that. They was cool. Mr. Myrtle Beach. All right. So our guest just popped in, and we about to introduce him. Straight from the mean streets of Philly. One of the first hip hop groups to come out of Philly. Back in, I want to say 89. I could be wrong. I think they formed around 85. And I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But we're gonna bring on the one and only Tone Love of the Tuff crew.
Everything's on. Yo.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Appreciate you. Paul Masson.
Yeah, everybody know about that Paul Masson.
Yeah. Old heads anyway.
Yeah. So you still in Philly? You still stay in Philly?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Yeah.
I know a lot of cats be moving from up north down south nowadays. That's why I be asking. Like
Yeah,
everybody
actually,
moving to
I got a little
Georgia and stuff.
I got a little spot a little bit down south.
Yeah.
It's kind of like up north down south, but yeah, I got another little spot too. But I'm still in the air in the danger zone. What's happening with you?
I can't complain, man. Weather keeps flip flopping, but that's North Carolina for you.
Word.
So I want to start here. So Tuff Crew forms and it says 1985. I was literally 6 years old. How old were you guys then?
Wow. Well, actually, yeah, we formed about I would say 86. I
86.
was
Okay.
I was actually 20, and my boys was like I think they was around 18, 17, 18, because one of them was still in high school. LA Kid, he was just finishing up high school. He went to high school with Will Smith, actually, and shout out to Will.
Okay.
Yeah, and the rest, we was in that 18 to 20 range, but I was the oldest.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So around that time, what was the local Philly hip hop scene like?
Oh man, the hip hop scene was it was thriving at that time. Um it was a lot of street bands, street groups that was doing block parties. We had sound guys with sound systems that was set up. And so all of the artists that was just getting into it, that were inspired, most of us were inspired from what we was here coming out of New York, and started tapping in. And so we got an opportunity to hone our skills out in the park, out here too, actually. They were set up in Fairmount Park. There's a spot called the Belmont Plateau. And we could
Okay.
go out there with equipment. We could go out there with our cars. A lot of people used to ride through and just, show off their cars and stuff. Almost just like what Will was saying in the Summertime song. That's how it was. And he wrapped it up in that song now that I think about it. But which is a Philly classic, Summertime. But he was speaking on how we would come out in the parks, and the sound guys were set up, the DJs were set up. And if you was nice, you would get a chance. Somebody would pass you a mic and you can get on. So hip hop scene was thriving, flourishing, I should say, at that time. Before we actually got a chance to get on the air, which was not too long after.
Now, when would you say is the moment that y'all really started to gain exposure?
I would say moment probably was early 87. We had completed our first album, which was called Philly Fan Jam. It stood for Philadelphia and New Jersey All-Star MCs. And we had got our songs listened to by, at that time, Lady B was on the radio. She was on an AM station, I believe, when she first started, WHAT, and she played played our songs. She gave us some help. Shout out to Lady B, the queen of hip hop out here. She put us on with our first single, which I believe was called Philly Style. And that was our first exposure from there. She really, between her and another lady, Mimi Brown, which had a rap show on another station out here called WDAS. Both of them are iconic stations. It was Power, went from HAT to Power 99 and DAS. But the local DJs played our music, and it immediately caught on.
Now that first album, is that the album where they were talking about it says the known rulers or something like that?
The Crown Rulers. Yeah,
the Crown Rulers.
That was the first album, the Fan Jam album. So they was from New Jersey. So that's why we called them Philly and New Jersey All-Star MCs. It was like a collab, but it was really our album, and we was bringing them out. So we put them on the same record to introduce them.
And how'd y'all link up with them, being y'all was in Philly and they were Jersey?
Well, Philly and New Jersey is just across like a little area of water, actually. You could hit New Jersey, you drive over the bridge, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, Yeah, 5 minutes. You were in New Jersey. So they were from East Camden, which is literally right across the water.
Okay.
And we used to,
Okay.
go over there a lot. We did shows over there a lot. In Camden, when we were getting known in Philly, we were also getting known in New Jersey. Like I said, it's pretty close, and they lived around there. So, people was coming to us like trying to get on, and my manager was looking for other artists as well. My manager at the time.
When I interviewed Tuff, I want to say that he said something about y'all did a show when y'all first met Ultramagnetic or something like that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And shout out to DJ Too Tough, my DJ. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we was going up New York just to get a little feel for it as we was working on our music and get a little feel for what was the culture was like coming out of NY. And we went up there and we locked in with a couple of up and coming artists at the time, Ultramagnetic, I think Chris KRS-One. They was all from the Boogie Down Bronx, South Bronx. And we went up there and we was really looking for some production and some influence on the production because we had just started. And they were, the boy Said G, shout out to Said G from Ultra. He started putting us on with how to use the SP12 and how to make music.
Okay.
And then he actually started making some tracks for us too. Yeah. So we had some.
So, and they ended up producing on the first y'all's, well, not the first album, but like the second album, if I'm not mistaken.
No, actually the first album.
Oh, the first album?
That you were talking about. Yeah, they produced a little bit on the second one too. But I believe, they actually did something for the Crown Rulers on the first album. That's what happened. And then by our second album, we was friends with them and definitely being helped and influenced by Ultramag. They used to come out to Philly. We'd show them around. We'd come to New York and do shows with them. So that's how it all started with our contact with Ultramagnetic MCs.
So y'all had the record, My Part of Town. Would you say that was y'all's biggest single?
Yeah, for the record, I say at this point, that's the one that we blew up. My Part of Town was a local hit. We was promoting Philly and, what our vibe was. And it just took off from there. A lot of our fans that left the city, maybe some of them were going to college. Some of them were going to into the service. And they just took our music with them. So we got a lot of promotional help from our fans by them just rocking out with us other places that they went. Because at the time, we didn't have a major situation or nothing. So we really got a lot of support from the fans as they went abroad to let other cities and towns know about us.
So y'all didn't have no major label deal when that song hit Billboard?
Nah.
And what was the feeling like then when y'all, because y'all had a top 25 hip hop record on Billboard.
Yeah, it was a good feeling, man. It was a really good feeling. We were realizing, like I said, that, our music was getting around locally. We know we had a strong buzz. They had a thing at that time called the Power 99. It was the top 9 or the top 10 at 9. And we was winding up on the top 2 or number 1 or number 2 that whole time that was running for a long time. So I realized, locally we was catching fire. And then from seeing our name in the Billboard list, that was really the confirmation that we was people was tapping in with us.
Now you said something about military friends. Do you think that had any impact on it? Because being from Fayetteville, Fort Bragg, one thing I know is we had a strip club back in the days that was really popular because of military people, because they go from city to city and state to state, and they always taking something with them, and they're spreading the word. Did you think it had any impact?
Oh, for sure. Like I said,
okay.
I literally, as we went around different places, we was hearing our music, particularly in Florida. It's really, really, really caught on in Miami. And, 2 Live Crew, shout out to Luke and 2 Live Crew from back in the day. They showed us a lot of love by bringing us down there because I guess they was hearing our music and it was playing in the club. So they was reaching out to us to come do shows with them. So that's really got us around in the South all from our buzz in Florida. I mean, I guess they heard in Georgia and the Carolinas, and like I said, it was a lot of different army stations.
Yeah.
Fort this, Fort that, Fort Bragg,
Yeah.
and if people was going in, they was turning people on like, yo, you ain't never heard a Tough Crew from Philly. At the time, it was on cassettes, on music, so they would actually be like, yo, you gotta check this cassette out. And that's why to this day I love my fans. We always did the music for them, and they always showed us the love by turning people on, because we really didn't have a lot of videos or big major label promotion and nothing like that. Our fans was the biggest promo, and the DJs in colleges, which we always also reached out to.
And you wouldn't like y'all's music, would you say it was anywhere close to Two Live Crew?
Not really.
Not
We had our
really,
own.
but that's still
No,
good though. That's still good because they could tap into your fans, you could tap into their fans, and things of that
yeah.
nature.
We really didn't make the type. I wouldn't say the type of songs that
Yeah.
Two Live Crew was making, but I think the common ground was that we had heavy bass influence in our
Okay.
music, and so they probably was vibing with us off of how that 808 was dropping. In
Yeah.
our music we had a lot of 808 influence behind it. That was just part of our sound, and that was heavy influence in the music down in Florida, bass music.
Yeah.
So that's what we had in common. Excuse me for 1 second, bro.
You good?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right, so back to my part of town. Do you feel like at that time that was a perfect representation of how the streets of Philly were?
Yeah, pretty much. We didn't in that song per se talk too much about it, but we was just repping my part of town and a little bit of Philly's vibe. But mainly we was just talking about, ourselves and a little bit of what was happening as we got started. I remember the lyrics to that song was kind of talking about where we was coming from and what we was dealing with to get on, stuff like that. But it was Philly's flavor. I think it became a Philly anthem, which it is now. It's stamped as a classic Philly, classic hip hop song from that era, but particularly a Philly anthem, was because Philly, I think number one, was proud that, they had a home team that was really getting on and getting out there. And two, it was our kind of, I guess, swag, you know what I mean? Our kind
Yeah.
of the way we talked, the way we swagged, and that was, very local vibe. So I would say, yeah.
So when you're in these groups that are just more and more members are in, like, what's the creative process? Because I know everybody's trying to get the shine. Like, how do y'all decide who's on what song and who's not on what song?
Mm, we didn't really struggle a lot with that. We was real,
Okay.
real generic with it. I would say when we was in the creative process, it was really two MCs, me and Ice Dog, Overlord Ice
Okay.
Dog. Shout out to the dog. We was the lyrical ones, and LA Kid was the producer. Too Tough was the DJ. Monty G was the beatbox, and so
Okay.
everybody knew their role. But when it came to writing, me and Ice wrote pretty much for LA Kid. He was also had some lyrical skills, so we wrote for him, but he was mostly concentrating on the beats. He was the beat creator, and we didn't really struggle with too much of who gonna say what. We just wrote it. Sometimes Ice was writing, sometimes I was writing. We wrote it. We just shared the lyrics, shared the space. It wasn't really a struggle. It was only
So
two of us.
you said something that's always interesting to me because you said you wrote for what you said his name was again?
Ice Dog.
Who's the guy
Oh,
you
wrote
said you
for
wrote
LA.
for?
Oh, for LA. Yeah, for LA Kid.
Ice Dog.
No, LA Kid was
LA Kid.
actually,
So
yeah.
why is it you think hip hop is the only genre that like kind of frowns on those kind of things, like people writing songs for other people?
I say it might
I
have
mean, it's part
been.
of the business.
Well, yeah, it is, but I think it might have been frowned on a little because it was all about expressing yourself or, really
Okay.
being, being true to the the lyrics. If you writing about you, and people wanted to connect with the artist, the MC, the
Yeah.
DJ, they wanted to connect personally, so they wanted to hear what you had to say, mostly about your thing. But us as a group, whether one of us wrote for another one or not like that, it was still collectively representing us. And I think actually when in the occasions where we did might have wrote something for each other, which mostly, you know, like I said, it was just me or Ice, but we might have shared a lyric or two here or there, but it would be something that we was like, yo, you should say that because that's like your personality, or, it didn't happen often. Most often we wrote our own bars, but the few occasions where we shared, it was somebody writing and they felt like they were writing for, because we were like
Yeah.
brothers. I was writing for my brother and I know how he is, so he's writing something for me. Ice wrote something for me, knowing how I was. So he said, you do that part. That's you right there. And when we did write, like I said, for each other in the few occasions, it was something in there that brought out that person's personality.
So y'all toured with Two Live Crew, which I can only imagine how wild that was. But y'all have
Mm-hmm.
also opened for like Public Enemy, Run DMC, and a lot of other people. Is there like one group that stood out to you that y'all like opened up for or toured with?
Yeah, I really did like doing shows with Two Live Crew. I really like doing
Okay.
shows with Public Enemy. It was hyped to be around those dudes at the time. Both of them was really making a name for themselves, and for us just starting, it was very cool to get with other groups that we actually listened to their music, and then wind up doing shows with. I always got a kick out of that. But Public Enemy, that was one of the ones that I really enjoyed performing with, as well as the local artists. We had some artists out of Philly. It was fun doing shows with Will at that time. It was Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, and we would be, and they was just getting on too. He was like one of the hottest solo artists out of Philly, so we was one of the hottest groups out of Philly, and we a lot, be on shows together, and I always enjoyed, their presence as well.
So I was seeing on the fourth album, Still Dangerous, you and Too Tough were absent on that. What was going on there? Were y'all doing solo projects?
No, yeah, well, actually, it wound up being that, but we had went through a little situation, which a lot of groups went through back to the day,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
me and Too Tough had embarked on a solo career after having some issues with the management and how things was going. And honestly, we felt like, we was being taken advantage of, and knowing where our music was taking off, we wasn't going to stay in that position. So we had an actual deal set up with Capitol Records. A lot of people don't know,
Okay.
but the deal that MC Hammer got was actually offered to us first before he came
Oh
out by
shit.
Capitol Records. Yeah, so that would have been us being known and promoted and pushed by Capitol Records the way that Hammer was.
Who
But
did a good job with Hammer? I could tell you
you
that
know,
much.
yeah, and shout out to Hammer too. He did his thing. One of the greatest
Yeah.
performers in the world that I've seen, and I realized that deal, the way it came off the table was really just a lack of managerial expertise, and so I was looking from there to see how I can
So
get
that was the
this.
Tough Crew deal?
Yeah, originally the Tough Crew
Okay.
deal. Yep.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we was the first group that they wanted to sign before Hammer got on. He was the next act that they looked at. Maybe we'd have been on the label together, but I know we was offered a deal
Yeah.
right before he came out on Capitol, and so they also had signed Schoolie D for a minute too. So
Okay.
he had a deal situation, but we just looking for different leadership management at that time. Me and Too Tough, the rest of the group elected to stay there. And so we rolled, and that's when you saw us break off.
So I know you were talking about y'all were doing a lot of 808 stuff, which is like really everything in the mainstream nowadays is damn near 808.
Mm-hmm.
But do y'all see any of your influence in today's Philly hip hop artists?
Today's I would say um although I don't see it as much because I think nobody really ever got our style the way our style is. However,
Mm.
I was told by a lot of Philly artists that we influenced their their career, them wanting to rap or looking up to us. And my DJ who wound up being too tough, a pioneer of DJing. A lot of DJs I heard say that they started practicing too tough scratches, like they was
Okay.
using his scratches that he put down on the record as like a litmus test to see how well they was coming along as a DJ. So it was like if you could cut any of Too Tough scratches, you was getting there, And for us, a lot of them have told me that we really was the artist that they were looking up to and listening to at the time when they embarked on becoming MCs or rappers. So shout out to all the up and coming artists out of Philly that made a name for themselves. Now I know they know about us. We still get mad love here and respect as pioneers. And a lot of them told me they started because they was listening to us when they started rapping, including even Black Thought. He saw me in the club and told me, shout out to Tyreek, my bro and peer. He said, yeah, you just want to tell you, y'all inspired me to rap. When we first started, y'all, we was rocking to y'all and, making sure we was comparing ourselves to y'all, which he actually wound up using a record, one of our songs on one of his albums.
What's your opinion on the Philly artists today?
My opinion on the Philly artists, honestly, because I'm a storyteller kind of rapper, I consider myself an MC.
Mm-hmm.
I consider some of the rappers, and I know who's the MCs. I look up to a lot of them, a few of them, I would say. I can't say a lot because some I wish. I put it like this. I can appreciate all the talent. There's a lot of talent with the Philly artists today, but I don't appreciate the messages because I know how powerful that the words influence people and the messages that are negative breed negative activity.
Yeah.
And, people listening to that music, they become what they behold. So whatever you be listening to through your ear gate or you watching through your eye gate can have an influence on your whole output and what you say and how you feel and what you do. And I've seen that happen in Philly with a lot of the rap that's, drill or trap or whatever you want to call it
Yeah.
is influencing our community negatively. So as much as I appreciate the talent that they have, I don't appreciate all of the words. I don't think that all the words, should be heard, that they're benefiting the listener.
Yeah, there's a saying, what the eyes see, the ears hear, the mind believes.
Facts. So
You
I've
know?
seen that happen in our community, how the music influences the people's personality. And it's really our responsibility to put music out there that's beneficial to the listeners. So that's what I'm doing. I got some solo music now that I'm really focusing mostly on that. Tuff Crew, we did do an album not too long ago. I think the beginning of 2024, end of 23, which we have available right now. It's called Back by Dope the Man. And that's hip hop. It's just raw hip hop, but I'm focusing on some songs I'm bringing out now to try to, put that fire out and speak to my people about some things. Because, hip hop was also designed to be our communication link. No matter what coast you was on, this is the way that we tapped in with each other and spoke to each other and addressed issues amongst our community, and I think that I could still do that. Hopefully I could still do that.
And on top of the negative content, an issue I have with the trap and the drill sound is you can't tell what region anybody's from it anymore.
No, because it's
It's
not
all the same.
right. The actual music
Yeah.
sound is very similar and the messages are very similar.
Yeah, very similar. So you don't know where anybody's coming from nowadays.
No,
West
it's hard
Coast,
to
the West Coast is the only one I think still kind of putting out some sounds that you could say, "Oh, this is West Coast." But
fact.
everybody else, it's like everybody else is all the same, man.
Yeah, that's an interesting phenomenon, but it is true. You could tell where we was all from before when the songs had different, more lyrical substance, I would say. And that would let you know as you listen to the rapper where they was from. But I could clearly see what you're saying. That's an unfun fact right now.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the thing. Some facts, they're not fun, man. But I mean, the facts are the facts,
Unfun facts, bro. I wish it
Yeah.
was, I'm a lyricist, so I really appreciated the songs that was saying something to me. Whatever it was mostly communication, but it wasn't very harmful. Now you had groups out there who was promoting that, your NWAs, your Mob Deeps, and I
I
liked them,
love
you
my
know what I
deep.
mean? To be honest, you know what I mean? I did like them, respect them and stuff, but I was always hoping and conscious of the fact that we needed to keep our lyrics either feel good or informational, educational, or just good old feel good hip hop with it. A subject that could be funny or whatever, like the Biz Markie type songs. So I
Yeah.
just enjoy. I'm looking at the front door. I just like songs that was like that. What PE was standing
Well,
for. You know.
or like my last week's guest, Culture Freedom, Poor Righteous Teachers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
PRT. Shout out to Poor Righteous. Yeah.
another unfun fact is there's not a lot of groups in hip hop no more. What do you think that's about? Everybody's just selfish, solo.
Yeah, pretty much. You had songs, May God Bless the Dead, that Biggie had, Ready to Die. You had songs like Pac had, God Bless the Dead, Me Against the World. But those
Yeah,
themes, what do those themes represent? Yo, be ready to die, only live for today. That's
yeah.
what I got from Ready to Die, only live for today. Me Against the World was like, yo, you can't, look out for nobody
Man,
else's
you ain't cool
shit.
with nobody. You ain't cool with nobody against the whole world.
That's what I was saying. Like, yo, I think that was strategically came about with the powers that be that was behind Big and Pac to promote those type of
Yeah,
themes so that we would not be, hip hop showed solidarity. You know,
yeah,
we was a collective group, a whole collective culture. It wasn't just about the individual song. Hip hop was a culture of individuals that we pretty much could say we was together. No matter where we was from, we was together, and that was the common denominator, our culture. And I think it was people that had a design on what we was doing to divide and conquer. So they promoted artists and pushed them with the A&R to say to push those type of themes. And they would pick our heroes and say, but talk about this and talk about how it's you against, and it was hurtful. You can see now how it was
well,
hurtful to the hip hop community. It was very, very divisional.
well. Think about Biggie. Like Ready to Die. Biggie was young. You had a whole life ahead of you. You're ready to die, dude. I got hit by a car, man. I'm not ready to die, yo.
I wasn't ready. I
I
wasn't
don't
ready
never
to
want to
die
die.
either. I wasn't ready to die either. But that's what I
Yeah,
mean. Our people embraced that, and then everybody didn't realize that it was
yeah,
giving them a whole different paradigm, whole different mindset. And
yeah,
all of a sudden, we slowly left from us to me. And that's how the people who was putting up the bag designed it to be. They wanted it to be me, 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 and we would just all become crabs in a barrel instead of us as a hip hop culture community. And you just start seeing less and less collabs from that, and that kind of energy being put out there is divisive. It's still
and
divisive.
the last group in hip hop that was really big just pretty much got killed off when Takeoff died. The Migos.
Yeah.
Once he died, I was instantly like, damn, man, they're done, man. Because I thought he was the best, anyways, even though he wasn't considered the more household name, like Quavo and Takeoff. But I thought Offset, my bad, Offset.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
thought
yeah,
Takeoff was like the best. I literally thought he was the best. And when he go, I was like, they'll never be the same, man.
yeah. Well, that was I think, between me and you, kind of planned out too.
I've heard rumors about that.
Yeah, that added a little more to the division, man. Like I said, every time it was somebody trying to be, a collective, it was something sitting there to divide that, so that every could be one man standing. You know how powerful we would be as far as a voice, as far as an influence, without the outer external influence of people who weren't even hip hop and their influence on hip hop to take us out of the hip hop culture and bring us into the rap game culture, which was all about murder and
Yeah,
mayhem
yeah,
and pretty much prostitution and division, and just it brought our whole self-esteem down. You stop hearing songs like uh, um, self-destruction, which was trying to nip it in the bud early. That's what that song was done for, because we were seeing that trend go towards negativity, but it didn't start like that. It was all feel good. Everybody came out in the party. You rapped, or you listened to the rappers, you listened to the DJs, you rock with the sound dudes, and you got home safe. Even if it was a rumble, you got to leave home and live another day. But promoting all this negativity and killing in the music, drill, kill, trap, all of those things was just divisive measures to divide and conquer hip hop. And it actually literally worked.
yeah. Because I think even today, like I guess you could say everybody from the '90s era is pretty much considered underground nowadays, right?
Yeah.
But you even see in underground where there was some divisiveness, like when the whole Puerto Rican and hip hop thing. I think that was very divisive. Like I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people, a lot of Puerto Ricans got offended, and
Yeah.
I mean, and sometimes I interview bare knuckle fighters, and
Mm-hmm.
last guy I interviewed, was saying, sometimes people need to just breathe
Yeah.
before they do things sometimes, and
Mm-hmm.
just think about it, because like bare knuckle fighters, they're always getting tested out, and people try to test them out in the public. So he's like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
I breathe, man, because if I don't, man, like I could end up you know knocking this dude out, and then I'm going to jail, you know what I'm saying, because he tried
Oh yeah.
to test me and stuff like that. But I don't know, I think like even with like the Jay-Z, and they said recent, what was old boy said, Black Thought is a trillion times better than Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
I would, okay, so underground cats might would say that, hip hop purists might would say that, but the
Mm-hmm.
masses would never say that.
The masses would never say that. And I mean, the fact that that's even made to be relevant is divisive, because to me,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
both of their contributions is respectable. Both of their
yeah.
contributions to the music that we do is respectable. Granted, I didn't give like that first earlier comment I made about what was being said. I don't think that Jay-Z always said what should be said, but I know that
I
his
agree.
contribution was very influential, and to some degree, some people valuable. So nothing has to be compared to them, other than all I could say is the common denominator. There was two very influential, talented MCs that brought their style of music to hip hop and actually, touch the people. And, to say who's better and better, again, that causes the kind of divisiveness that we don't need between
Just like the
within.
LeBron and the Jordan shit.
Right,
You got
right,
people going at each other. The people
right.
calling LeBron's fans the LeBron sexuals, and it gets deep, man. It's like everybody wants to die on their hill of who they defending.
Exactly. And amongst the artists, I bet you they all was playing each other. Those two artists you just talked about, I'm sure they was listening to
Yeah,
each other's music. So it's it's really more important for hip hop for us to recognize and value what was brought to the table by the artists that the people loved, and how we developed something ourselves. It was our thing, which we gave it away and allowed it to be polluted and raped and taken advantage of. But the culture of hip hop being sabotaged and then taking that away from us, which was our way of communicating healthily with each other, and then giving us the rap game, which was really shoved down our throat. Like you said, real hip hop is underground. Why? Because they wasn't given the same equal exposure on the stations to the people who had something to say that was
as the
relative.
mainstream right now. Yeah,
Right. And so they're pushing the those certain artists because they're pushing their agenda. And the agenda behind those artists is to divide and conquer the hip hop community as well as our people as a whole, to pit us against each other after so much blood was shed for us to come together. And I'm not even saying anybody outside, if you outside of being of my actual ethnicity, but you had no feelings towards us, hurtful feelings towards us as a people, then that's why you've seen so many white people embrace, and people of other denominations embrace hip hop, because it was a collective that they could even get down with, and they wasn't with what happened, 400 something years ago to even establish, division and segregation. So that's why you saw the suburbs embrace hip hop, the kids of the next generation behind, the generation from 60 years ago embraced our thing, because they was like, yo, they real, what they saying is real, what they doing is real, we like it, we want to be a part of it. And hip hop is never going to be that way if we'd have kept maintained control of it. But those powers that be that took control of it changed the whole narrative.
Something feels different to me now, though, because you named a group earlier. Like, my favorite album of all time is Mobb Deep Infamous. And I think about, the times when I came up, when you had your conscious rappers, your backpack rappers, your gangster rappers, your commercial mainstream rappers, your sexual rappers. You had it all, right? But we listened to a lot of gangster rappers because we was giving everything a shot. Midwest, West Coast, up north, down south, 8-Ball and MJG, Ghetto Boys, whoever. But it didn't seem like people were going out and trying to mimic these gangster rappers back then. And now it seems like, oh man, everybody's mimicking this. Like you said, I don't think this stuff is hip hop nowadays, because it has zero elements. They're not even MCs.
It doesn't have none of the hip hop pillars of hip hop. They surprised to hear scratching, which Tuff Crew, we still do scratching on our songs.
You don't never hear that in the mainstream no more. No scratching.
Nope, or beatboxing.
No beatboxing, no breakdancing, no graffiti. Right. The fashion is feminine as hell. The fashion, these dudes out here wearing mini skirts now, yo.
Bro, well, they wanted to, the effeminate. That's a whole nother. Might take me another.
Emasculated, they emasculated it. Yeah,
emasculated it, and that would be, probably take me a whole nother to dig. We could dig into that, but it would be another interview, bro. But I will say that the culture of hip hop was stolen, raped, perverted, and misused,
and changed and said repackaged, and like, here you go, here's hip hop.
Well, it's and it's not. It's the rap game, and the rap game has some elements to it too, but most of the elements are destructive. And hip hop got put aside and buried. It's like they put hip hop in a trunk and close the lid and try to keep it down, but it's still, hip hop is still there. The culture is there. There's some people that appreciate that, who grew up on that, and they want to do that. And it's just not being kept out of the limelight.
But this is the craziest thing to me. Mm-hmm. The biggest artist on the planet, as far as hip hop goes right now, is Kendrick, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
But they don't want to sign any kind of artists, any more artists they have Kendrick's content, it seems like.
No,
or J. Cole from my city, my hometown city. I would put him more on the positive side of hip hop. This guy rides a bike in the city,
Yeah, no, there's people who kept made sure as they was getting that shine that they kept 10 toes down. And I appreciate those artists in particular that you just mentioned. They focused on keeping 10 toes down and not letting the powers that be pollute their authenticity. And so they happened to get pushed through because they was the people's chance. And so they got pushed through and got some shine out there like that. But they don't want to really let too many people who are, on the mic that's woke get to speak their piece. They really don't want too much of that.
All right, so we about to be hitting this hour mark soon. Tell us about some of these new projects you got. And I know you do, it says you do community outreach too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that using my platform to try to help with the nonviolence. I started a program called Tough Love Movement. And since I'm Tone Love from the Tuff crew,
Tough crew, that makes sense. Tough love,
and
yeah.
I'm from the city
And
of
these people
brotherly
need
love.
some tough love nowadays, I think, man.
Mm-hmm. And what that movement is all about, where I'm trying to use music as a vehicle and a platform, but we speak in consciousness to the young people, presenting some different scenarios that they deal with through some acting skits in between the music, and trying to tap in on conflict resolution and relational, positive relational behavior, and those kind of things that we could build our community back up on. So I bring it through the music and through a little acting skits and through some speakers, and collectively it's like almost like a concert, but it's designed to, to wake up the masses and get us back to community rather than division and more and killing each other and stuff like that. So that's one music project, and then I'm working on my own songs right now that I never really brought out.
Okay.
I have a nice little catalog of joints that I wanted to just put out to my people before I'm finished doing this. So while Tuff Crew did the project recently, and then we're about to be promoting that a little heavier, also promoting my own solo stuff. Particularly, I got a song I did for the Eagles. I don't know if you're an Eagles fan. I know you're from North Carolina,
Nah,
but
yeah.
you're
The
now
Eagles are
rocking with the
killing it
best,
right now.
baby.
Y'all killing it right now.
You're now rocking with the
Yeah.
best. That's the Eagles. New song
Y'all
I
killing
did.
it right now, man. Y'all could
Yeah,
literally be in the Super Bowl again this year.
Yeah. So this gonna be the anthem. It's called Bird Gang. It's by
Okay.
me, it's myself solo. I had originally did a song for the Eagles way back in the day called Bring It Home for Jerome. That was for Jerome Brown, who died. But this is the new song, and I'm going to be promoting that, as well as the new Tuff Crew album that's out. So what I'm putting on the screen right here is USB copies of my music. Yeah, this is USB copies. I sell these.
Oh, that's like the USB cards?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I put my music on there, and my fans still willing to rock that. That's a Tuff Crew album. It's also on wax. You know what I'm saying? For y'all wax people who appreciate, hip hop on vinyl.
That's
for
a
our
dope
vinyl
cover
collectors.
too.
Yeah,
We try to preach I promote music for a living. I be trying to tell these guys, you gotta get back to this traditional stuff. Y'all let major labels dictate how you sell your music, where you sell your music, and for how much you get paid, and you're not even signed to a major label.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. So I do got distribution. I got my own label, Real Rap Records. I got distribution through Bungalow Music and Film and Universal. So, I got a little back in to distribute the music I'm bringing out, but I got creative control to do what I want to do. I also do gospel rap. I rap for the Lord. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. And so I do what I call gift rap. And that's also
I saw that, the gift rap thing. I saw that.
Yeah. So that's like what's going on with me, bro, right now, as well as, Tuff Crew still out here performing, doing their thing too as well. But
where y'all usually get y'all shows at nowadays?
It depends. A lot of them always locally, but then we can go overseas. We're big overseas.
Overseas is always good. Yeah.
yeah. We big in Europe.
Okay.
So that's the opportunity. We're going to do a tour over there at some point soon, probably next year.
Thank God for Europe, man. Still loving real hip hop, right?
Fact. That's the harder. That's the harder real hip hop over there.
Yeah.
They never stop hip hopping.
Europe and Europe and the West Coast. That was it. Mm-hmm. Everybody else in America decided, now we're not hip hopping no more on the mainstream aspect.
Yep. It was so fun. We went over there, and they was having breakdance battles, young breakers versus old breakers, and all in the same show. It was just love.
That's what's up. Well, I appreciate you taking the time out. You're more than welcome to come back on. I'm gonna make sure I send you my email if you want to send any music for music reviews. I do live music reviews as well.
Word, yeah, send that over to me. Shout out to all the Tuff Crew fans out there. If y'all want to tap in with me, my label Real Rap Records. I got the website. It's under construction. www.realraprecords with a Z.com. I'm also at Tuff Crew Tone 215 on IG. Also at Tone Love on FB, and Tone Love 940 on TikTok. So y'all can tap in with me. But I got my own music right now coming out. I call it TL Soul Teacher Season. And Tough Crew still together, moving strong. But I got some stuff I want to get off my chest. Y'all check out for me, and all y'all Eagles fans that's abroad, tap in with me for this hard copy. Get your memorabilia copy of the Bird Gang song, also including Bring It Home for Jerome.
All right, well, appreciate you. You a friend of the show. Like I said, you want to come back on, please do. When I get off here, I'll text you the email. Anytime you want to send me music, please do. And definitely shouts out to DJ Too Tough for linking us up, man.
I appreciate you, Paul Masson. And y'all keep tapping in with Live from Fayettenam. It's one of the realest podcasts out there, you know what I'm saying? Y'all check out, you'll see real artists like me tapping in with my brother. He dealing with the real, for sure. So check him out. Peace and love, Paul Masson. Salute.
All right, enjoy your night, man.
Yes, you too, bro.
All right, peace.
All right, peace.
Well, there you have it. Tone Love, Tough Crew, one of the first groups out of Philly in the hip hop. They started around 85, 86. I think the first major single was around 89. And charting 25 on the hip hop charts when you didn't have a major situation, even back then, was probably really, really good accomplishment. Philly's always been big in hip hop. They're up there with Jersey as far as I'm concerned. New York, Philly, Jersey. Jersey might have Philly a little bit beat because of just the amount of MCs out there, but New York, Philly, and Jersey were really the top three for a long time until, the West Coast started getting popping. See who tuned in earlier. Mr. Myrtle Beach, Robert Emos, appreciate you. Ace, appreciate you. Rick's Lounge, bottoms up. Rick's Lounge, that's what I was talking about. Rick's Lounge was known like all over the United States because of the military. Every time they would go to some other military base, they would always tell cats, if you go to Fayetteville, go to Rick's Lounge. So I don't know what time I'm going to do music reviews. Probably around 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to do music reviews. Make sure y'all submit to livefromfayettenam@gmail.com. Shouts out to my man DJ Too Tough for basically setting up the interview. And we're going to have Too Tough back on here soon as well. Shouts out to Tone Love for taking his time out and telling some of the Tough Crew story, And that's the thing, like, every group member has their own perspective and own view of what was going on with the situations and stuff like that, But also tomorrow I'm gonna talk about why radio is still better than streaming, how radio pays out more than streaming, and how you can actually break a song on radio, but you're not really breaking it through streaming, not without social media, that's for sure. We're about to wrap it up, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We go live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Audio version will go to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, Slacker, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and much, much more. We're about to hit you with that outro. Peace, and I'm out.